Hey guys, it's Lane here with Hobbies and Man. Once again, and today we're going to be doing a new first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at Business Proposal. I don't know what this Narak thing right there is, but this is adapted by Peria, and the original, which was a novel, is from Hiai Hua, I think is how you say their name. Not really sure. Let's see if I can make it focus here. It doesn't look like I can, but overall, good stuff here. There's also a Netflix adaptation of this, or well, there's a live action version that happens to be on Netflix right now, and I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure I've heard my sister tell me that one of her friends is really into it, so yeah. The publisher here is Isa Press. This is a Korean manhwa, and you know, if you look at the art style, that's pretty clear to see. But I quite like it. I think it looks nice. So yeah, the demographic here is older teen or 16 plus. And the genres here are office romance and drama. If you're a fan of Latino telenovelas, you probably have seen something similar to this at some point or another. Specifically, if you've ever seen an adaptation or a new version of Ugly Betty, you know, there's a current one that's on Netflix right now, but there was the Mexican edition from 2004. There was a Mexican edition from 2010-ish. There was a Colombian version. The original version is Colombian. It's kind of like a office romance sitcom type thing, and it's pretty well liked across the world. So yeah, if you're familiar with that, you'll kind of find yourself familiar with some of the stuff that happens here. And I happened to be a kid when the 2004 Mexican one was coming out, so I'm pretty familiar with the story because it was one that was very well liked by the people that I knew. So yeah, adaptations wise, it does have one. Like I said, it's a live action. It's available on Netflix. And in terms of the premise, it's basically there's this girl who is a salary worker. She works at this office, and she's friends with a really rich girl. And this rich girl has rich girl problems, and one of them being that she has to get married soon for political sake, for the sake of her family. But she's tired of going on these blind dates with all these loser dudes that happen to also be rich. And so she gets her friend to agree to going on a date with one of these new suitors. And so she does, and they dress her up. They make her look really hot and very different from how she actually looks. And then they have her play this man-eater type character, this woman that doesn't give a shit, that just is there to live it up, basically. And the thing is that the guy that they're doing this with happens to be the first girl's boss, and also is someone that doesn't really care. He doesn't have time to deal with this. He's very much a workaholic, and he's just getting this done to get his dad out of his hair, or his grandpa out of his hair. And so he doesn't care about this woman. He just wants to get married. And so he's like, okay, I don't really care what's wrong with you. Let's get married. And so this spirals into a rather ridiculous set of circumstances where the girls are trying to chase him away, but he's too stubborn to care. But then the rich girl gets interested in the rich guy's secretary, and it's this whole kind of ridiculous situation, and it is pretty fun. There is something that I want to talk about, which is that there's this kind of narrative device that I don't really love, because it sets you at a certain scene, and then instead of like going linearly, it actually goes backwards. So what you're doing is going into a flashback very frequently, where the flashback could have easily just been the normal part of the story, because it's not like you're flashing back in time. You're flashing back like a few minutes to what happened previously, as opposed to like months or years in time, right? And it's not a great thing, but it also isn't so annoying that it's impossible to read. It's just something that I had to kind of deal with because I noticed it early on, and it kept happening. It was kind of, you know, not great. I didn't like that, because that kind of let's go back type of narrative device isn't really one that I like. So yeah, especially because it could have easily just been linear and there would have been no change to the story, right? So yeah, overall though, the artwork is beautiful. I really like the chibi version of the characters that they use for certain situations. Let me see if I can find one. The little chibis right there, I like them. And I think this is a really fun kind of different take on something like Wotakoi or Secretary Kim and stuff like that. It's basically an office romance where the point is that no one wants to be in a romance, but they kind of eventually do. And so it's fun, it's interesting, I quite liked it, and I really, really did enjoy myself reading this. So yeah, I'm definitely going to continue to read this. This is not necessarily up my alley. It's kind of different from what I'm used to, but also it is interesting and enjoyable. So I'm going to continue to read this. So yeah, there you go. That was Business Proposal. Let me know what you guys thought down below, and thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.